Welcome everybody on this beautiful, well, I guess not so beautiful Monday. Beautiful non-victory Monday, I guess. Maybe depending what part of the USA that you live in. Maybe it was good weather. Maybe you had a good day at work. Who knows? 49ers took another loss, unfortunately. Record falls to 3-5. I'm here with Jason Aponte. Jason, how you doing?
I'm great, Leo. How are you? I'm glad to see you here, and this is long overdue. We got to make this a weekly thing. So no matter the outcome, one way or another, weekly, we got to have one of these. So
These one of these little 24 hours, talk about it, get over it, let's move on. Because obviously, you and I, we love talking. You're my guy, so let's figure it out. We're gonna do this show a little differently. It's not gonna be your typical. Let me go ahead and go over these segments, break down the segments, break down the film. It's not gonna be like that. So I want Jason. I'm gonna ask Jason these. Describe in one word. Also, finish the sentence as you see here, right there in the red. Describe in one word. Let's go ahead and get straight to it. And also, everybody, drop a happy birthday to Jay. Definitely. One day I'll be out in New York getting some drinks with him. Hopefully soon. Let's go ahead. Let's get right into it. Describe in one word. 49ers versus Cardinals.
disgusting.
Okay, talk to me.
I mean, it. Look, if this game had been all hands on deck for the Arizona Cardinals, then they would have lost in this fashion. I'm talking about Kyler Murray, J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, Chase Edmonds, who left this game
Mhm.
in the second play of the game. Then it stings, but it doesn't sting quite as much when you really factor in who was not there and how this team played and the lack of execution, tackling, just the things that we keep harping on every single week. It seems like after losses, it doesn't stop and it's not getting better. So, yes, disgusting, especially when you consider it's Colt McCoy that was on the other side and his team had no answers and fumbles and all those things. It's just disgusting effort. Disgusting.
Yeah, that's a great word. It is disgusting. Everyone was saying that they had a great week of practice. Doesn't matter who was playing, Colt McCoy or Kyler Murray. We're ready for Kyler Murray. We expect Kyler Murray to play, yet it wasn't Kyler Murray. You weren't ready for Colt McCoy, I guess. And it was just a disgusting performance. All of a sudden, you're blinking, you're chasing three scores. It was just wild. Couldn't believe it. Um, Let's go to the next one. Also, I want you guys to follow along with us in the comments. Let me know how you guys feel in your describing one words. Um, Kyle Shanahan, describe him to me. I know you're the co-founder of Only Shans. You're a big believer in Kyle Shanahan. I'm a big believer in Kyle Shanahan, but there is a discussion that needs to be had here based on the responsibility of what's going on.
Lost. Just based on the same answers that you get from each press conference. And I'm glad that today, at least he said that all the execution, it falls on me, because a lot of people were taking, to Twitter to say, hey, Matt LaFleur gets up, Sean McVay after what happened. Sean McVay, they had a disgusting showing themselves too on national television as well. Got up there and said, it's on me, nothing about the players, anything like that. But today, Kyle Shanahan stood up and said, it falls on me. But here's the thing. It's the same answers every single week after these losses. What are you going to do to fix it? How do you fix it? Right. And it's one thing to take it on the chin. That's cool. You want to hear that. You want to hear the accountability because that's something that people wanted. But what are you going to do? How do you fix it? Is it fixable? I think that's the better question. Can you fix it? And less than how do you fix it? Can it be fixed? It's just, yeah. I mean, that's it. I would just say loss right now.
Yeah, loss is a good one because there is a conversation that needs to be had. Does Kyle need to take a step back in some way? I've seen it being mentioned in front office work, in personnel, or also I've heard play calling. I don't think play calling is where he needs to take the step back.
Nope.
If he's lost in the front office and lost with the personnel of this team, that's where he needs to take the step back. Things got to be figured out. I don't know what the hell's going on. And since loss is the word for Kyle Shanahan, looks like he may not know what the hell is going on with this team. And It needs to be fixed soon, man. This is not a 3-5 football team that I'm looking at here, and seeing them at 3-5 is just disgusting. First word you use. So
Hmm.
let's get to the third one. It's D'Amico Ryans. Describe him in one word, please.
Evolving. I mean,
Okay.
and we knew that there were going to be these growing pains. Listen, I'm old enough to remember how fast everyone wanted Robert Saleh out of here. Now you're calling for Robert Saleh to come back. In terms of where D'Amico Ryans is against Robert Saleh, he's miles ahead of him right now. He
hmm
is. People did not like Robert Saleh at all. And it took him almost 3-4 years before the fan base actually warmed up to him. You knew the growing pains were going to happen. You knew it. And if you didn't, that's shame on you more than anything, especially because he's a rookie defensive coordinator. But I feel his highs this year have been much higher than his lows, which this week you're getting killed by screens. Defense looks out of position. Those sort of things are there. But that's what a growing defensive coordinator is going to go through. And these are the growing pains. And just like how you want to see the rookies play, they're going to go through their growing pains. And D'Amico Ryans is a rookie as a defensive coordinator, and he's going through them right now as well. It's unfortunate that it happened in a game that Colt McCoy was starting in. So I think that's where the frustration comes from. But you still have to remember this is his first year.
Yeah, and also it's just, was it the starting defense out there? Was it your starting secondary out there? No, it was not. So for us as a fan base, and I include myself because I'm still, I still want to see this team win.
Of course.
If they don't, I get roasted. If they don't, my daughter goes to school and gets roasted. So yeah, I want to see them win. And so with D'Amico Ryans, you can't say, "Oh, I want to see Trey Lance in," and Trey Lance go through the growing pains, but not feel that way about the DC. If it was some veteran with multi years of defensive play calling under his belt, and he had the game against the Cardinals, then yeah, if you want to have the feeling of get him the hell out of here, I completely get it. He should be a lot better than that. He's more seasoned than that. Right now with Robert Saleh, D'Amico Ryans, it's like getting a patty, a hamburger patty. It's unseasoned, and you got to put the seasoning on that thing until it gets good to eat. Right now, you can't expect to eat that thing without no seasoning because you may be going to the bathroom a little bit later.
Mhm.
So with D'Amico Ryans, understand where this defensive personnel was yesterday. I think not having Jimmy Ward was a big factor in how this
Tart.
defense looked. The lack of communication within the defense. I saw this, and Dante Whitner actually hit on this. It's there when the wide receiver is cracking down on your safety, when the safety is coming down against the run. Neither of those corners communicated that to the safety. Neither one of them. So Kirkpatrick let on the touchdown to Eno Benjamin. Kirkpatrick let Hufanga get blocked up, boxed in, and then he got ran over at the same time. So it's just, yeah, he's learning D'Amico Ryans as a DC, but also let's not push him out the door so far because he didn't have his starting secondary yet. It's kind of premature at that point.
Right, and
Let's
it's almost I mean, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's
no,
almost
go ahead.
premature to say that because you literally were singing his praises in the first Arizona game when Kyler Murray was held to 1 rushing yard, and now
hmm
because of this, and you're absolutely right. Not only were they missing Ward, they were missing Tart, and those communication things, those are the things that they're very good at. Again, everybody wants to always point to turnovers, but I think you got a glimpse of life without Jimmy Ward. Tavon Wilson's getting beat down the field. That doesn't happen when Jimmy Ward is in the game. Those communication errors and things like that, Tart knows where to go and he understands what he's seeing. So those sort of things, why you guys are like, you need to, play the rooks, and these are the bumps that you're gonna take. So you can't really get upset. You can't have it both ways, man. And I think that yesterday yesterday. It feels like it was 3 days ago. Yesterday,
I wish it
kind of
was.
right. It kind of encapsulated that in terms of what you're missing when Jimmy Ward and Jaquaski Tart are on the field.
Got you. Yeah, I agree. It's exactly that. Let's move on. Describe in one word. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Solid this week. I
Yeah.
look, look. Every week, you can go ahead, look at the film, and say, "Man, what's he looking at here and there?" There were a lot of problems in this game. I do not count Jimmy Garoppolo as one of them. Look, first of all, being down a distance and being far down, I mean, that had a lot to do with the penalties, all that stuff as well. But Jimmy was fine in this game, man. And if it is in the cards that after this Rams game, because I think he played well enough to earn the start, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to be starting Monday.
Yep.
If it is in the cards that he eventually doesn't play as the starter anymore, it's not necessarily going to be because he's played so bad. It's just going to be because the season has taken a turn and it's time to get the ball rolling with the development. So I think that that's what you guys have to, look, 40 times throwing the ball. I tweeted it out today. That's not what you want. It's not what you want. But come on, man. He actually played pretty well yesterday. I mean, he didn't fumble the ball. They were moving the ball up and down the field. They were moving the ball when they needed to. Obviously, on third down is where you want to see the improvement, and that's been the bane of this entire season with the 49ers. But those down and distances, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 15, those are hard to convert. And when you talk about Jimmy Garoppolo's skill set, it's even harder when you talk about him. So in my eyes, the interception he threw, the game was well in hand at that point. You had to throw the ball. And when you're down 17-0, you've got to throw the ball. I thought Jimmy Garoppolo was fine. I do not count him as one of the reasons that this team lost this game at all.
I agree. And when we say fine for Jimmy Garoppolo, we're talking about his play on the field. I know you guys want to go somewhere else with it. But yeah, that was his best game since when? Because
the game before the Bears game. I mean,
I think he was even sharper this game.
Yeah, definitely.
He was sharper from first quarter to fourth quarter, a lot sharper this game. I guess you could say halfway through fourth quarter, but it was already done at that point. You're just stressing, trying to make something happen that isn't there. But when they had a shot in this game, he was fine. So he did enough to win. If this was the 2019 team, that's probably a win. They probably win, but that's the thing that we're seeing here. That's the common denominator. This is not 2019. So yeah, he had a fine performance. His best game since probably against the Rams 2019. I would say that was his best game. Or I guess you want to say last year against the Jets.
I was going to say the Jets game. I felt like that was it. I mean, obviously he only played a half, but he was sharp in that game, I thought.
Yeah. So that was his best game since then. There was other unfortunate things happen on the offense, like the 2 fumbles that puts your team behind the 8 ball. So it's he played good enough to win. And that whole Jimmy Garoppolo needs, they didn't lose because of him, but they didn't win it because of him either. Do we expect that?
Right.
No. So why is that a factor if we don't expect it?
And that's it, because I see it in the comments. Jimmy doesn't elevate anybody's play. But yeah, we knew that. And you knew that going in. But when you're behind the 8 ball and Kittle fumbles and Ayuk fumbles and all of a sudden your defense can't stop anybody, that's not Jimmy Garoppolo's strong suit. That's not how and so why are you shocked when that happens, right? And that's the thing is the context around the way that he played has a lot to do with the people around him and how they played. I mean, they probably would have scored points. They were down in the red zone. Ayuk, all he has to do is get down if he doesn't fumble the ball right there. They're probably going to score there. They score at the end of the half. Kittle was on his way to making a large run, and they were already on the other side of the field there. I mean, those are game-changing plays. And around there, asking Jimmy Garoppolo to do things that is not in his skill set is going to make him look bad. So that's the thing. You shouldn't have come away from this game saying he can't elevate anybody's play. Because that's who he is. That's who he is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bernard. Appreciate you, bro.
Not to get carried away with the quarterback talk because there's other things we could talk about. Describe in one word, Jimmy Ward. He didn't play yesterday, but I think that was noticed a lot.
Respect. Put some respect on that man's name. I mean, look, no disrespect to Tavon Wilson. He's obviously an NFL player, but he's not Jimmy Ward. And you saw it pop up with the communication errors, with the throws downfield, being beat over the top. Those are the things that don't happen when Jimmy Ward is in the game. Everybody wants turnovers. Everybody wants, oh, man, where are the pass breakups? First of all, he doesn't get tested. They don't throw at him. So how are you supposed to make plays on the ball when you don't throw at him? Second of all, he is so solid that the ball never goes over his head. Do you guys understand now that there's more to football than just turnovers? Like, most of the guys that are getting the interceptions are because people are testing them.
Yep.
And why are you trying them? Because you think you can beat them. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Like Nandi Osmo, I think 1 year got All-Pro because he had 0 interceptions. But that was also because he was the least targeted corner in the league. I'm talking about Raider Nandi Osmo, not Philadelphia Eagle Nandi Asamoah, or
Not Dream Team,
not
Nandi?
not 49ers legend Nandi Asamoah, not that guy. Oakland Raider Nandi Asamoah. It's all pro, 0 interceptions. He just wasn't getting targeted, and that's the same thing with Jimmy Ward. They tried him early into his career as far as a free safety, and then it's been squashed since then. They don't like targeting him often. When it does, it's usually a PBU or an incompletion, and that's what you miss. As well as filling the running lanes. I saw Jimmy Ward against the Chicago Bears. Felt like he was making a point to fill the running lanes, and he's always in there. Same thing with Tart. People want to talk about Tart's injury history. Well, a lot of time he's throwing his body around for the team. So let's get this question. See, Bernard.
Jason, I liked when you got upset with the Niners loss because I'm on my PTSD meds and you make up for what I would, but you're good being cool now, so keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Bernard. I think that everybody was tuned in last night to my show because they expected me to fly off the handle, but
Spicy Aponte?
Yeah, I know. But also, what does that do? And I can still get the point across calculated this way as opposed to yelling with the vein in my head. Like, it's just like, listen, man, like,
with your ass popping out
likes
in the stands.
Right. Everybody likes everybody likes the passion and all that stuff, but I can still be able to say the same things without having to yell and be all crazy. So yeah, sometimes I get a little passionate. That's because, I care. But at the same time, I can still give you the same information in this tone and this fashion. And that's what I'm just trying to be better on. I know that everybody likes Spicy Aponte. I think it's funny. I think that the internet's run with it. And I think that's pretty cool. But at the same time, being calculated, being not cold, being calculated and being cool about it and still being able to be critical of the team and understand that. I think that's where I'm at with it right now, because all my yelling, what is it going to do? Who cares? Kyle's not listening to me. I have no sort of bearing on what happens on the field. I'm just giving you what I see and what's going on. That's it.
Hey, one day, because, I've been hearing all your content for a while now. We've been following each other. One day, hopefully your word has a meaning to this team, because, man, nice, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. Those rings are going to start coming in.
I would have drafted Terry McLaurin over Jalen Hurd. I promise you that.
No, let's not go there. My ears, my heart, my brain, it's all hurting now. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Once again, we're going to go ahead and jump to the next segment here. This is going to be one of your different type of shows.
One more thing I want to point out before we go ahead. If you guys are in here, make sure you're hitting that like button on this video. Sends the algorithm up. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Please do that as well, because that helps us out as well. Appreciate everybody that's in here. And like I said, this is going to be something that we do weekly as well too. So we hope you guys like this. This is the first week that we're going to be doing this. So
yeah, absolutely. First week we're doing this. I don't know. I don't even know if it needs a name. If it does, I'm just going to call it 24 hours after, whatever it needs to be called. Now we're going to go ahead and jump into finish the sentence. I'm going to give you a player's name. You're going to finish that sentence for me. It could be multiple words. It could be a single word. You guys go ahead and let us know how you finish the sentence in the comments. First one I'm going to start off with is Josh Norman.
Stupid and selfish.
Okay.
Look, I don't like to be critical of players like that, but you are a veteran. You are a veteran. And that moment right there encapsulated what's wrong with this team and their identity. The 49ers were about to get off the field right there on a third down, which is something that you would have never thought would have happened in this game. For him to do that, for him to be a veteran, and then when Tavon Wilson comes over to you, another veteran, and tries to calm you down, you get mad at him as well. I would have cut him right there if I was Kyle Shanahan at this point. I would have cut him. Hey, listen, Josh Norman has a history of this. Do I have to remind you guys about Odell Beckham and what happened with him in those matchups? What year are you in your career? Is this your first year? Is this your first year in the league? No, you have been in this league. You can't control your emotions. It's stupid. It's selfish. And that's kind of why the people who are clamoring for rookies, it's like, hey, man, I'll live with that if that's a rookie. He's trying to go through it. You're playing veterans for that? That's what you're playing the veteran for? That veteran experience? He should be cut. And honestly, I'm disappointed that we didn't wake up this morning that he was not cut. And Kyle Shanahan said something to the effect of, I didn't even want to bench him the whole game. I would have sent him to the locker room just like Mike Singletary did to Vernon Davis. You got to make an example. And this is the point. This is what I was talking about earlier about Kyle Shanahan and managing personalities. Someone like that who has never been here, he's only been here this year, it gets a slap on the wrist and doesn't play in the game. Other players don't see the field anymore, get sent to the doghouse. This is what I'm talking about. If you're going to be tough on player 1 through 53. From blue chip player to role player, Kyle Shanahan, that's on you. You cannot be tough on 1 or 2 guys and then let that slide. That's the problem. When other guys make mistakes, they're allowed to run back out in the field. One guy makes one mistake, all of a sudden he can't see the field anymore. That's the stuff that I'm talking about right there. You have to, if you're going to drop the hammer on everybody. George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Jimmy Garoppolo, drop the hammer on anybody who's not doing anything the right way. And it can't just be pick and choose. That's my problem. That's it. Keep that same energy with everybody. That's it.
I'm going to keep it 100. Kyle has too much power. Team is lost. Jimmy's not winning you a game in year 5. Time to go. No leadership leads to chaos. Yeah, I agree. The leadership is lacking. There needs to be some type of leader within this team.
There he is.
Just get your head over the. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, needs to be some kind of leadership with this team. I'll say the same thing. I don't want to jump too long on Josh Norman. Josh Norman should be cut. I would say that with this 49ers team, because when you look at it in hindsight, do the 49ers still give up the field goal? Yes, they do. At least the field goal opportunity. Could the kicker have missed it? Yes. But what does that show your team? What does that show your young guys? I see Azeez Al-Shaair trying to calm down Josh Norman. I thought Josh Norman was the Pro Bowl veteran at one point in time of his career. I thought that's the reason why he's starting, because he's a veteran. Penalty after penalty. Like, if you're going to keep him out there with the PI penalties, okay. But now he's going to give you PI penalties or dumb penalties by yelling at the opposite team head coach. It's like, okay, what is he doing here? What is he giving you? What is he providing you? And so, yeah, Josh Norman should be cut.
There's that comment right there from Matthew. So if you cut Norman, are you willing to put up with the mistakes of a starting? Yes.
I'm
willing to put up with that from a rookie. I am not willing to put up with that with a guy who's been in this league way too long.
With Lenore. We saw him start twice this year. I don't agree with the excuses from Kyle at this point. We saw Lenore start twice this year, and we did see the ups and downs when he gave up the 90-something yard catch to Quez Watkins and Philly. And guess what? They got a goal line stand and didn't even hurt the team anyways.
So, and my thing is you're playing the veteran because you're relying on him to do the smart thing. If he's not doing the smart thing, then what the hell, man? Like, you might as well play the rookie at this point. Who cares? And the guy's not good. And he's bringing down your morale on the team. Like I said, Kyle Shanahan not cutting him and making an example of him is what I'm talking about. You're allowing that to slide, and you're letting other guys, whoever, make mistakes, and they're allowed to run back out there. The locker room knows for a fact who you're picking and choosing to be hard on. That's what I'm talking about, man. Of course I'll live with a rookie's mistakes, because you know what? The rookie is losing. If he's making mistakes, the rookie is going to be losing trying to play reps, not losing yards yelling at the coach. What are we talking about, man?
Jason.
Yes.
It's like we said over the phone this morning. You cannot. Kyle Shanahan is his tough love act is played out. It's over with. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, Brandon Ayuk wasn't practicing hard enough," while you still kept Trenton Cannon on this team after fumbling twice against the Seahawks, which cost you the game. And you let this guy, Josh Norman, still stay on this team after he cost you points. Either you're coaching it or you're allowing it. Right now, the 49ers are allowing it. And this is a direct reflection of the coaching staff. I don't want to hear that, oh, Kyle does take responsibility for his actions, and he does take responsibility. Today was the first time I've ever heard him say it falls on the coaches, it falls on me. For those of you who follow a lot of us on Twitter or the main beat writers, I'm sorry, me, Leo, and Jason, we don't hold this team's water. We don't have to. There's guys who specifically hold this team's water. One of the beat writers said, well, Kyle was misquoted. First of all, if you go to 49ers.com, there's a tab that says media. To the left, it says transcripts. You can read every press conference that Kyle Shanahan's had here. He has never once taken responsibility for anything with this team. So either you're coaching it or you're allowing it. Right now, they're allowing it with guys like Josh Norman. You're allowing it with guys like Trenton Cannon, both guys who shouldn't be on NFL rosters. But you want to tell me and blow smoke up my ass about Brandon Ayuk's practice habits. When he was playing just fine. Big deal. He didn't run a route fast enough in practice 1 or 2 times. Kyle, get over it. You haven't earned that type of equity with your players to begin with. You have 4 losing seasons in 5 years. Who are you to tell these players about certain things? Who are you to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm the offensive genius. Our offense looks the same. How many times do I got to see this motion left with Debo, fake handoff to the running back, and then we have 3 slants and 1 clear out in the same? How many times we watched the tape today? How many times do you see that, Jason? 5, 6 times?
I don't want to talk about the tape. The tape is nauseating.
I should have created describe in one word.
Describe in one word the tape. Nauseating. That's the word for it.
Nauseating.
All right, so we got my guy Carlos in here. Day after everything considered, you guys think Shanahan can find his footing in this fiasco, or is he on a full throttle nosedive? I'll go ahead and answer that first. I'll say, I don't think it could be. I don't think it should be a full throttle nosedive. There we go. We got the words out. I think he just needs to delegate more things within the front office and let the front office do their jobs. I think he just needs to focus on being a coach and being a focus of being a leader to his teams. We could talk about how many times they lost Staley, they lost Buckner within the leadership of this team. They lost Sherman. But hell, you have Kyle Shanahan, and one of the requirements of being an NFL head coach is being a leader. You see Mike Vrabel out there not calling plays, but yet he has his team at 7-2 and completely washed the Rams.
And Derrick Henry's out.
And Derrick Henry's out. You know why? Because they have a great leader in Mike Vrabel, and that's probably why he's going to have a lot of winning seasons in Tennessee. And you know that's ultimately what Kyle needs to be focused on, is less of the behind the scenes BS and focus more on your team. Put your team first now at this point. Just go ahead and coach them, mentor them if you have to, and mentor them in a different way. You don't have to mentor everyone in the same way, like Jason alluded to earlier today.
Yeah, that's my thing, right? And you know, again, I point to people, you know, all of us, we've all worked jobs, we've all been managers, and you understand certain people respond to criticism different ways, right? You can't go hard on everybody because not everybody responds that well. And I understand people, this generation is soft. You should have. No, it's not that. It's about managing personalities, and the good ones know how to push buttons on other people. If you can go hard on one person and get him to perform, good. But that doesn't mean that works for this person. You maybe have to wrap your arms around him a little bit more. Those are the things. And managing personalities, that's what head coaching is more than anything. It's about being able to get the best out of your guys. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. One thing I'm going to point to, and I know that this really has nothing to do with Kyle Shanahan, but this is a reflection of how his father used to coach. And it's the same thing. Jake Plummer came out and talked about, I was playing the best football of my career when I was in Denver. But every time I would walk into the meeting, Mike Shanahan would say, you left this on the field. You left this on the field. You left this on the field. And it eventually wore on him. Because you know what? Nobody wants to hear, hey, man, you did 85, 90% of your job correctly. But here's this 10% that I'm just going to keep like droning on and I'm going to keep hitting you about. Nobody wants to hear that. Some people respond well to that. Some don't. The point is you don't know how to press the buttons on the guys. And that's what I think should be scaring people. In terms of what this question is right here, day after everything considered, you guys think that he can find his footing? I don't know, but I know this. He's not going anywhere. So that's it. Like at this point, there's no reason that they sent all those picks for Trey Lance and they're not going to give him one shot, at least 1 year with him, a full year. So whatever happens this year, one way or another, Kyle Shanahan is going to be here. Whether you agree with that or you don't, it doesn't matter. Forget your feelings. This is what it is. He's going to be here. Unless there's something drastic that happens and Jed York just decides and he wakes up and goes crazy and he gets rid of everybody. But then in my eyes, that feels worse because you allowed this plan and these picks to be sent for a guy and you didn't even let the guy get a year with him, man. And that's going to be more scary. But I think he's going to be here. In terms of whether you agree with that, that's up to you. But you can't trade all those picks for Trey Lance and not let him get a full season, a full offseason, a full training camp with him because Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be here next year.
Day after everything considered, do you think Shanahan can find his footing? No, I don't think he's going to find his footing this time. We're 8 weeks in. How much more time do you need to find your footing? right? This is year 5 of a regime that you built, of a roster that you built. And to Leo's point about Mike Vrabel, I don't want to hear another word from John and Kyle about culture. Like, just get that out of here right now, because culture is guys like the Titans responding when Derrick Henry goes down. Culture is what the Seahawks just did the last 3 weeks, staying within the race, right? Culture is the Denver Broncos showing up and blasting the Cowboys, right? With less than they're a lesser team than the Cowboys. The Niners couldn't show up versus a Colt McCoy and Christian Kirk offense. What? That tells you all you need to know about your culture right now. Not one guy's bought in. Not one guy gives a damn about what's going on with this team. No one's holding themselves accountable. To quote Joe Staley, who said it on KMBR a few weeks ago, they need an asshole in the locker room. They don't have one. Fred's too nice. George is too nice. George is probably, out doing a Zenny commercial right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. So no, I think it's going to go into a full throttle nosedive this year. I think we will get to 3-7 or 3-6, and then you're going to see Trey Lance in versus Jags when a whole bunch of rookies are in. Season's pretty much over, and the Niners end up somehow 7-10, and here we go. So no, I have no faith in what Kyle and John Lynch are selling me, because this goes way back to all of 2020, even the end of 2019. All of 2020. You can't sit here and blow smoke up our butts about the quarterback position and then continuously lie all the way through and then make your plan Z known about Trey Lance. Like, no, I'm not buying nothing they're selling.
All right, got you. Javi, I'm going to have one request for you. Talk with your hands less, because then that microphone acts up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah. You good, though. All right. I think we're on this one now. We'll try to get through these a little faster for you guys. Brandon Ayuk, finish the sentence. We'll go with Jason first.
Reborn. He's back. And I don't know if this has to do with whatever it is that Kyle was trying to do with him or anything like that. We obviously have him on tape being open, running clear out routes when his knee was hurt week 1. I mean, yeah, it's an injury, but hey, we're going to have you run a clear out route so we can get 2 safeties open. So, so you can get Deebo Samuel open. Yeah, dude, Brandon Ayuk is back. That was his best game of the year. That looked like the guy that we saw last year. That looked like the guy that we expected coming out of the doors week 1. So in this case, let's say this. In this case, whatever Kyle did worked. Back-to-back weeks of him being very great, right? Him running from the other side of the field to block in Chicago. Literally, we were there, Javi. From the other side of the field to lay a block and help Elijah Mitchell get down the field. This week, obviously, fumble aside, everything else looked like the guy that we thought. He got the ball. He looked great. So I would say reborn back. He looks like the guy that we thought it would be. But is it too late? Is it too late because this team is so far gone at this point? And how much of him not being involved from early on has to do with how many games you lost when the offense was stagnant, when you weren't trying to manufacture touches for him? But as of right now, Brandon Ayuk looks like he's all the way back, and that's something that 49er fans should be excited. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that he's back. It's the same guy we've seen for 8 weeks. Ayuk on tape has been open.
His usage, there you go. His usage is back.
His usage is back. But the player has been the same the entire time. Like at this point, like I don't care about.
All right, give me your word. Give me your word. Come on.
Same player.
Or I get let's finish the sentence. So there you go.
Yeah, he's the same player as he was last year. He's probably a little bit better, obviously, with experience, but it's the same guy. You just didn't throw him the ball for whatever reason. Right? And then he saves a pick because Jimmy, of course, throws it really high and then he fumbles it. But the point is he saved the pick. I don't know if he throw it to the guy in his numbers, he doesn't fumble. That might be, let's start there. That might help. But as far as Ayuk goes, yeah, he's the same player, man. This is nonsense what the Kyle Shanahan and this coaching staff is doing when it comes to your blue chip players. Like, you play your blue chip players, you get them involved. Like, do we think Pete Carroll would do this to DK Metcalf? Do we think Ron Rivera would do this to Terry McLaurin? Nah. And Pete Carroll and Ron Rivera have way more equity than Kyle Shanahan. So, yeah, same player. I got all the smoke for Kyle right now. Kyle is on my list.
I could tell, man. And you putting that disrespectful Kyle into some other kind of meaning right now at this point.
We should change it to disrespectful.
All right,
Cliff.
so
Bro, Cliff. real quick, Cliff put the league on notice. Like, yo, I'm gonna go show out real quick, bro. How you got creative like that with Colt McCoy on a double pass? That's all you need to know. They don't. The Niners were not respected when they came when the Cardinals
Going
came
for
into
it
the
on
game.
4th and 3 with Colt McCoy and getting it, and it's just, dude. And then here's what's disrespectful about it. I'm gonna keep running the screens. You can't do nothing to stop it.
Nope.
I know where I can beat you. Putting Hufanga in places where he has to cover way further because he doesn't have the speed to get it done.
Yeah. 4.8 safety. Yeah, let's get him in coverage. Yeah, that's
let's get him in coverage. Let's go whip his ass. Like, I mean, that's nothing against Hufanga or anything like that, but that's a coach who knows where to attack. And right now, like, I've got to eat a lot of crow because I was the main one saying that I don't think he's a good coach, but he's coaching the hell out of this team. And if he wasn't your coach of the year favorite, this week should be the reason that he just jumped up ahead of anybody.
That's fair. So we got reborn and same player for Brandon Ayuk.
I mean, we seen the tape, bro. Like, I don't want to hear none of these Mr. Analytical beat writers. Yeah, the yards of separation. That's only matters when you're targeted, bro.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got to smoke for everybody today.
Where's the pack at? You smoking some kind of pack today. All right. Finish the sentence. Elijah Mitchell.
Baller. I mean, everything that you really wanted. I mean, a 6th-round pick and your 3rd-round pick can't sniff the field, and he continues. It doesn't matter. You know, obviously he only got 8 carries in this game. Whatever. You can say whatever you want in that regard about that. But when you're down 17-0, and I think that Kyle alluded to the fact that, you know, they were giving them advantageous looks on the passing game, which would explain why Jimmy looked so good on certain passes. Some he didn't, but Elijah Mitchell's really, really good. The 49ers have got themselves a really good one. And for him to play that well with bruised ribs and play that well as a rookie, they got themselves a baller.
Underused. Like, what are we doing? 8 carries, bro?
Here comes the smoke.
I don't care about Kyle. I don't care about your 6-man defensive line that you've seen out there. I don't care. Run the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo should not be throwing the ball 40 times a game because he's bound to make a mistake. This is why his comparison is Tony Romo, right? Jimmy made a mistake late in the game. The game was probably over anyways, but the interception was coming. We all knew it was coming, right? Like, it was going to happen. Asking Jimmy Garoppolo to throw more than 30 times a game is just a recipe for disaster. How many missed throws did he have in this game? Way too many to count. Missed explosives. You're underusing your running back, right? Then you got Sermon, who is a good player, on the bench for Jeff Wilson?
Jeff Wilson didn't even play.
Jeff Wilson didn't get 1 snap. At the very least, Sermon is playing special teams for you. So you mean to tell me your 3rd-round pick that you traded up for can't get play, and then Elijah Mitchell, who was, yeah, exactly. We were in Chicago. Niners ran against 8-man fronts all day long. Kyle, I'm not buying what you're selling, man. Like, this is nonsense. Underused because Mitchell is a valuable player. There's no reason for him to get 8 carries. He should be at the very minimum getting 15 a game.
I told you last week. So Elijah Mitchell, I'm going to go ahead. I didn't finish the last one with Brandon Ayuk because you hit the head on the nail. I'm just going to go ahead and clean the plate for you guys. Elijah Mitchell is being underused. I spoke to you about it last week, Javi, against the Bears. I think that's game he should have had 25 carries minimum. He ended up with 18, less than 20. This game, he had 2 carries in the first 3 drives, 3 carries in the first 4 drives. Elijah Mitchell is just being completely underused. It's not like he's being swapped in and out with the running back to have such of a low usage within those first 4 drives. He had a 9-yard carry. He had an 11-yard carry in those first 4 drives. He had 1 negative 5-yard carry, but that was more so about the blocking design and the execution with that, not necessarily on the running back. It could have been worse than a negative 5-yard play, but he ended up making it at least better, putting some kind of makeup on it. So, yeah, it's completely underused, Elijah Mitchell. I need to see this guy at 25 a week. It's kind of reminding me of this Ezekiel Elliott situation. I think early on into their career with Dak Prescott, where the Cowboys were just completely under 500 by a lot of games when Zeke saw less than 20 carries. Well, you need to get to that point with Elijah Mitchell and give him more than 20 carries. And I'll tell you what, these games are going to be a whole lot closer, or the 49ers are just they're going to put themselves in an advantage standpoint if they're getting Elijah Mitchell 20 carries per game. He's earned it at this point. The kid has flashed. Don't give me about the 6-man fronts or whatever Kyle's saying, because he was still gashing out 11 yards a carry, another 9 yards a carry. I think he finished the game at 4.5 yards. Yep, 4.5 yards per carry here. So obviously that front didn't really matter, right? Get Jimmy Garoppolo in play action at that point, get him outside the pocket, and that's where Jimmy Garoppolo he plays well when you get him out in play action. So he's being underused at that point. Let's move on. Jason, finish the sentence. Tom Compton.
Bye, guys.
Golly, man. Goodness gracious. Why? That's how I'm gonna finish it. Why?
Why? So why Tom Compton? Question mark.
Right. So this is it, man. This is what I'm talking about. Kyle's guys. Tom Compton is gonna have a spot on his roster as long as Kyle Shanahan is alive and will allow it. And it's like, again, man, this man whiffed on block after block after block, man, and you didn't do a thing about it. But he's good. But Brandon Ayuk need to hit the doghouse. But this guy needs to do this and this, and he needs to perform better. Man, listen, I understand that you're talking about a replacement backup, right? That's fine. But, bro, it was evident every single rep he was getting whipped. It didn't matter. Chandler Jones got his first sack since week 1. For all you people that didn't want Mike McGlinchey, that's what life is like without Mike McGlinchey. Because you can yell about Jalen Moore all you want. Kyle don't give a damn. It was always going to be Tom Compton be the first one off the bench. But y'all wanted McGlinchey out. You got what you asked for. And that you got glimpses where, oh my God, whatever, man. Just go. Go to the next person.
Javi, finish the sentence. Tom Compton.
He's a coach, right? Isn't that what Kyle told us?
Oh.
He's on his team because he's like a coach. So we're just going to use the word coach. This is negligence by the coaching staff to allow Tom Compton to be the first tackle off your bench. I do not care that Jalen Moore has only practiced on the left side. Guess what? That's your fault, Kyle. Everything comes back to the coaching staff. Jalen Moore should have been cross-trained left and right. Brunskill was cross-trained left and right. I'm not buying what you're selling, Kyle, again. Because Brunskill came in for Joe Staley, remember?
Yep.
Brunskill came in for Justin School, remember? Oh, and then Brunskill had to go play right tackle when McGlinchey got hurt.
Yep.
So, no, I'm not buying what you're selling about how he was only training on the left side. So who's your backup right tackle? Oh, Tom Compton. That makes no sense for him to be on this roster to begin with. That's a poor decision. And if anyone goes back and watches the tape, how many times did Kittle have to line up on the right side? How many times was Juszczyk on the right side having to chip to help out? So now you're taking your best pass catchers out of the game and or not helping your run game because now Juszczyk's got to go play left tackle B or right tackle B. Like, what are we doing here? This is negligence. But Tom Compton, he's like a coach for this team, so he's going to be here.
And if Jalen Moore was getting whipped like that, that's fine. He's getting reps.
He's a rookie.
Tom Compton has been garbage for the last 7 years. Hey, the Jets didn't want him. Whatever, Leo. Go for it, man.
No, you guys said it for me. Tom Compton, why is he here? Why is he? I would rather see the 49ers bring up to the active roster Alejandro Villanueva. I would rather see him play out there. The 6'9" guy that they got from Mexico, from Tijuana. Gutierrez.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Villanueva from I think he's on the Ravens now.
Yep.
Yeah, Gutierrez. I would rather see him play. Shout out TJ. I was out there this weekend with the banda y todo. But
big week for
big
Mexico.
Week.
Viva Mexico, Canelo.
He had us vibing out there. But yeah, it's just like I'd rather see Gutierrez at this point than Tom Compton. Why? But obviously, before Gutierrez, I would rather see Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore should have been training as a swing tackle since week 1.
I know exactly what Javi's about to say. Say it, Javi.
Just put Kittle at right tackle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, hey, might have been okay to put Aaron Banks on the active roster, maybe move him to right guard and then just move
that too. That would have made a lot of sense, but I'm just going to go with the unreasonable thing and put Kittle at right tackle.
That's my fault for thinking that your second round pick should be somebody that would be impactful somehow.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I don't know anything. I'm a Twitter GM though, so we got this.
Yeah, it's all good.
Fred, finish the sentence. Javi, go. Fred Warner.
is being asked to do too much. Right? I think there's a void in coaching. Right? I think right now he's got to be the middle linebacker, heart of the defense, linebackers coach. Like, what's the value of Johnny Holland? Johnny Holland, for anyone who pays attention, is out with cancer. He's dealing with cancer, the Niners linebacker coach. So you're probably asking Fred to take on a lot. Fred is still playing good ball. I don't think he's playing Pro Bowl level ball. I'm sorry, all pro level ball, but he's playing good ball still. But there's a lot on that guy's plate. Yes, he got paid a lot of money, but at the same time, he can only do so much for this defense, right? When you have your defensive tackles getting whooped, no Kinlaw, Armstead's not playing that great on the inside. DJ Jones, Maurice Hurst, he's nowhere to be found. Kevin Gibbons not doing nothing. So now you're exposing your linebacker to a lot more contact and asking him to make a lot of plays. So it's just with Fred, it's like I'm shooting Fred some bail because Fred has been outstanding for 3 years. So I'm gonna give him a pass here because it's not all on him. I just think he has way too much on his plate right now.
Jason,
that's where I'm at with it. Overwork. I mean, you're asking him to try to clean up almost everything at this point. I love Azeez Al-Shaair. I think he's been playing very well this year. He had a bad game yesterday.
Yeah,
very bad game yesterday. I don't know what happened. I mean, he was everywhere else, all these other games, and he played very well. He didn't look good. He's being asked to do too much. And the communication things that were happening on the back end without Jimmy Warden's heart, now Fred Warner has to account for all of those things. It's too much to ask of one guy. And I think that a lot of what people's frustrations are is because he just got paid. You think that he should be the Superman. No, you gotta throw some context in there a little bit too. So, and I don't want to hear that Drake Greenlaw is going to clean all this up. Don't even start trying to bring that up and trying to make it seem like Drake Greenlaw is going to be the reason that all this stuff fixes it out. No. Because I was one of those guys that I am really leaning towards keeping Azeez Al-Shaair and trying to move Drake Greenlaw so you can get some draft capital for him while you still can at this point. And I don't care. Y'all can say whatever you want in the comments. The man is regressing, and he is. I don't want to hear about missed tackles when you're not in position to make the tackles. So don't make it seem like Drake Greenlaw is the Band-Aid on all this. There's a thing that's going on right now with this team. You got a rookie DC. You're watching through the growing pains. You're watching him go through it, and you're watching Fred Warner be overworked. You're watching the effects of not having on the back end what you need to have, and that's what's happening right now. So I don't want to hear the Fred Warner slander at this point. I really don't. There's bigger things going on right now with this team than Fred.
Yeah, I think Fred Warner. I'm gonna say same story that we heard his rookie year, that he was being asked a lot. There was a lot on his plate. They took that off his plate. Next, you saw a Pro Bowl player. I think right now you'll see the same thing. I don't think it's a natural regression in his play. I just think there's a lot on his plate. I'm not sure exactly what that entails because I'm not in those meetings. I'm not in that locker room. So I don't know what it exactly entails from the outside looking in. It looks like there's too much on his plate. How much more is he getting asked than other star linebackers in this league? That's my question, is how much more is DeMeco Ryans asking Fred Warner than the Seahawks are asking from Bobby Wagner? How much more of that? Is Fred Warner being asked 20% more? Well, guess what? 20% may sound like a small number, but it is huge in an NFL grand scheme of things. It is a huge number. So I don't know what's being asked, but it's something I'd like to know, or at least have the answer to eventually, because I think if they take that off his plate a little bit, I think you'll see a all-pro Fred back to his same type of player.
Before we move on to the next thing, like, look at Demario Davis. He's got two safeties that are playing good ball, and his defensive line is doing the damn thing. The Seahawks still have Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams, and Brooks is a pretty good, co-pilot to that linebacking group. So there's a lot more being passed around in those situations. Fred's got a lot more to do. Fred, yes, has to be a player coach. He has to be. But at the same time, like, you can only do so much when the rest of your team isn't executing either. Like, you got Tavon Wilson and Hufanga out there. Like, what are we talking about here? And then you have two bad corners. Your defensive tackles are not playing well. Armstead had himself a decent game, but other than that, it's not that good.
Brian, what on earth are you talking about, dude? You know what, man? Congratulations, bro. Congratulations. Mac Jones was 13 of 24 yesterday with an interception and a touchdown. You got it, man. You're welcome. We definitely convinced it. Man, shut up. Go Patriots. Enjoy never winning a Super Bowl ever again.
I saw that face you made, and I knew it was that comment. I knew.
Yo, this man said that with his whole chest. What are you even talking about, fam? Yo, look, nobody wanted Mac Jones at 3, bro. Enjoy, man. He's a starter. You got yourself a starting quarterback. Awesome. Enjoy never winning a bowl.
They got themselves a starting quarterback for the next 5 years until they have.
Cool, man. Way to go, man. I love him. He's just Alabama Jimmy Garoppolo, bro. You got it.
Yeah, and last one here. Yeah, I can't stand Mac Jones. Last one here. It's finish the sentence. Diamador Lenore. Finish the sentence.
New daddy. Congratulations. Happy for you, buddy. No, seriously. Get him reps. I mean, just at this point, like if you're running out Drake Kirkpatrick and Norman, then I don't see what it could be. I mean, at this point, like it's just literally you're literally dealing with the same things that you would deal with the rookie, but you're only doing it under the guise of it being a veteran who you thought was going to do all the right things. Now you're not doing any of the right things. At this point, I'll live with a rookie and those bumps and bruises with the same thing, as opposed to guys who have been in this league who aren't getting it done in coverage and are now costing you with penalties and also getting truck sticked by a guy who played his first game of the year, Benjamin. So, yeah.
I don't know, because we don't know what he is yet. At this point, it's just play the rookies. You have nothing else to lose here. You're in last place in the NFC West. Yeah, you're one game out of the 7th spot, but cool, you get to the playoffs. You're the 7th seed. Are you really beating the number 2 team in the NFC, which is probably the Rams? Probably not. Play these guys, man. You have nothing else to lose here. If Lenore's not it, cool, then you figured it out that he's not it, and you can figure out how to move on. Right? This Niners team is going to be rebuilding. That's the R word that everyone hates to hear. But they will be rebuilding in 2022. So you might as well start that process. Expedite the process with Lance. Expedite the process with Banks, Sermon, Lenore, whoever. Like we've seen Hufanga. We know he's not it. We know he's not a starting strong safety in this league. He's a special teamer for life, right? Trey Lance. We've seen Trey Lance play one game. We don't know what he is. Sermon. We've seen flashes. Is he Carlos Hyde or is he Frank Gore? Like where's he at? Let him play there. It's just. Became yes, and then Drake Kirkpatrick, get him off this team. Lenore, I like this one. Scrappy. That's the comment at the bottom here. Yeah, that would be the word for him. But he just needs to play. Let him play. How much? I don't like Kyle's comments today about we draft these guys for them not to play. We thought they were good depth. Okay, so you thought they were good depth. So Mosley gets hurt. Verrett gets hurt, and your decision was to bring in Josh Norman and Drake Kirkpatrick and start them over the 2 guys you drafted.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I would have rather seen Dante Johnson.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, why is he on this roster too?
So, hold up. Kyle plays, since we're on Diamador Lenore, plays Dante Johnson over Diamador Lenore in these situations, but he does not play Dante Johnson over Drake Kirkpatrick.
What? I spoke to somebody on the team today that said I would rather have Dante Johnson starting because I know he's going to do his job. And what we're talking about is whatever you want to nitpick on certain coverage plays, that's fine. But the guy knows where to be on the field. He knows his position. They're not out of position when he's there. What are you doing? Why are you picking these veterans over a guy who's been here way longer than both of these guys that clearly you trust, right? Like he debt taxes and Dante Johnson. But because Josh Norman used to be good like 700 years ago, and because Drake Kirkpatrick played in this league a bunch of years, come on, man. Yes, I spoke to somebody on the team who said that. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the comment up here to finish my sentence. Where is it? Right here. You say you couldn't think of a word for him. Well, we're finishing the sentence right now. So Diamador Lenore, I haven't seen enough from him yet. There you go. I haven't seen enough from Lenore on the field. Get the kid out there. Josh Norman's not a part of your future, and he's not playing winning football right now. Dre Kirkpatrick's not a part of your future, and he's not playing winning football right now. So why are they out there? Is Diamador Lenore part of your future? Yes. From what we've seen, was he playing winning football? Yes. Let's get him onto the field. Kyle, if you wanted to wait and not play them this year, I get it. But situations happen, and sometimes you have to play guys earlier than you anticipated, a la Trey Lance starting in Arizona, a la Diamador Lenore starting the first 2 games of the year. So, hey, Jason Verrett, something that you didn't expect to happen, he's out for the year. Now you have Diamador Lenore. Let the guy start. Let the guy play. He's shown you something. He's shown you a lot more over this stretch that Norman's been starting. He's shown you a lot more than that. He's also shown you a lot more than the times that Kirkpatrick has been in there. He's gotten beat a couple times. It was that ugly. It was the Colts game where he just got mossed ugly. I think he didn't even jump. That was Dre Kirkpatrick. The non-jump was Dre Kirkpatrick, where he just let the guy catch it and walk in the end zone. Oh, and then he gets ran over against the Cardinals. We've seen enough of him. Get him off the field.
And then the people dunking on Dante Johnson, he literally gave up one catch in Arizona, which was like literally a fadeaway throw from Kyler Murray, where Rondell Moore like literally was out of bounds making a catch, and y'all want to blame Dante Johnson. And like, oh, man, you can understand and say one thing that he's not a starter, that he should be on the field or whatever, but like, use your eyes. He's still better than Drake Kirkpatrick at this point. Probably still better than Josh Norman at this point, because at least he's not going to cost you penalties or anything like that. So it's just like today's just been a whirlwind, man, with the takes, and everybody's dealing with this loss differently. You know, I saw something about Josh Norman being the only playmaker on his defense today. It's just there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot to digest today, man. It's just people have just been saying like a whole bunch of crazy things, man. It's just nuts, man. Like, I understand you could say in one breath Dante Johnson don't deserve to be on the field, but he's still better than Norman and Kirkpatrick at this point. He just is, because he's at least a more solid fundamental player. He's not great, that's fine, but he's still not going to kill you. And I think that's just what 49er fans have this narrative in their head that he's just getting burnt all the time. Show me the film where he's getting burnt every single time that they're just testing him like he's Brian Allen. You can't, because that's not there. And if you're making that up in your head, then you're just a liar.
Kirkpatrick, number 13, looks like Richie James playing defense.
That's fair. Yeah. That's my number is 13. But I would never play 13 as an NFL cornerback. I would never be in the NFL for one. So I would just say I would never wear 13 as a cornerback if I was on any type of team. That would never. And that's my number. I'd be a wide receiver. I'd be a quarterback with number 13 for sure. Even a tight end. But you won't catch me slipping wearing 13 at cornerback. It's got to have a bigger meaning for Kirkpatrick if he's going with that. But I know we got to wrap it up here. Let's finish off with this one. Does Kyle want to play Trey because his entire coaching career rests on that one player? If Trey plays and plays bad, all future hopes and vanishes. I'll go first really quick. I think Kyle wants to have just all complete faith in Trey Lance. A big thing with Trey in that draft process is he wanted to have a person that he could have dialogue with, what they see on the field, and then what Kyle sees from him on the field, and have that dialogue, have that conversation. That was his big thing on drafting the guy he was going to draft. So I feel like Kyle is just waiting for Trey Lance to get to that point. Do I think he learns and gets more to that point playing football? Yes. Does Kyle appear to have a different method? Yes. Is Kyle paid as one of the NFL coaches and not me? Yes. So, I'm kind of I have to defer in Kyle in this way, and in whatever he's doing with Trey Lance. Do I think he should play? Absolutely. But I think Trey's play does fall on Kyle, whether it's good or bad, because this was Kyle's guy. This was Kyle's pick. So this is Kyle's lifeline, and Kyle wants to just wait until this thing is just seasoned the way he wants it. He does not want to throw the burger patties on the grill if it's not seasoned yet. Go ahead, Jason.
My conspiracy theory is that he wanted to run with Jimmy so he could delay the process one more year, because the clock ticks immediately as soon as Trey starts. That's it. The clock starts immediately when Trey starts to start. That's it. That's it. It's on you now. Once he starts, that's it. The clock starts. And if he doesn't develop fast enough or the way the fan base likes, then that's it. Because The whole thing about Kyle Shanahan was wait till he gets his guy, wait till he gets his guy. Well, he got his guy. And guess what? He said, you know what? I don't want to do this right now. We're just going to run it back this year or whatever. And then next year I'll run with it. He delayed the process because he didn't want it to start immediately. And this is now blown up into what it is because of his plan and what he wanted to do. So that's where I feel like he wanted to do with it. He just wanted to delay it. And he knows for a fact that his coaching is on the line with this because of the narrative that's built around the league. Kyle Shanahan has never had his guy. Wait till he gets his guy. Well, now you got your guy, and you didn't want to play him this year because you wanted to delay it a little bit longer, and you thought you could get by and make the playoffs this year with him. Now you're seeing that blow up in your face. Next year, it is game time immediately when Trey Lance starts week 1, and all the eyes are going to be on Kyle, and he immediately has to get that kid ready to go. That's it.
So I'm going to read the Mike Silver thing. A week into training camp, coaches believe Lance had grasped Shanahan's intricate offense so quickly that they might be able to accelerate the plan and start him right away. Then he leveled off, lost confidence, and clearly became less appealing option than Garoppolo, who has had his best training camp as a Niner by far. Though Shanahan and his assistants were excited about the prospect of having a Trey Lance package to keep teams off balance. Kyle doesn't want to play Lance because of everything Jason just said. The clock starts, because everything Leo just said, the clock starts. But this is something that Kyle and John botched. From the minute they made the trade to 3, you put a ticking time bomb into your own locker room. You've undermined the quarterback that you paid and helped lead a team to a Super Bowl in 2019, and your locker room's going to see that. This is part of why you have so many issues on this team. It's not just a quarterback problem, right? If Jimmy can be thrown under the bus all offseason, what makes you think that no one else is going to be talked like that in the rest of the team? So that's where they are. I think Kyle has lost a bit of the respect on the team, right? Teammates, I went back and watched a whole bunch of press conferences. Teammates were all about Kyle, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy this, Jimmy that, Jimmy that. No one said a word about Kyle. I haven't heard one positive thing about Kyle come out of a player's mouth this entire season or off season. There's something wrong here when it comes to Kyle and the rest of this team. When it comes to Lance, the clock starts, and I don't know if Kyle is the right guy. My son, hey.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kyle is the right guy to get Lance ready. So
Ask your son that.
Anthony, you want to see Jimmy G? He said no. Okay. But I would, where I lost my thought. But what I want Kyle to do is take less response, have a lot less on his plate now. Kyle, just be a head coach. Go get yourself an OC. Go find yourself a quarterback coach that you can trust and just do this thing already. Rip the Band-Aid off now like you should have done in the offseason, and it would have helped you out the entire time. There's no way to tell if someone leveled off if you haven't played them.
Javi's mini-me. Oh, the other one. Now that one's Javi's real mini-me. Look at that.
There he is.
Look at him.
I saw somebody say that he got our guy. I'm about to go watch my guy. He plays in real life.
Say hi. Sorry.
No, you're good. We love it. This is a family show. I got my daughter over there watching Ronda Rousey for whatever reason today. But hey, she actually did tell me this. I need to find a new Ronda Rousey. Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
That's fair. She's washed. I agree with you. You do need to find a new one. I didn't tell her that, but hey, it is what it is. I'll let her believe in her hero. Any last thoughts here before we end? I know Jason needs to get some birthday drinks.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go watch. I'm gonna go watch my guy Brian Hammond, not our guy or whatever, because no one listens to Twitter GMs.
Brian Hammond again.
Brian Hammond. Enjoy Mac Jones. I'm gonna go watch Justin Fields, pal.
Season's over. That's kind of how I feel about it. Just start the rookies, develop these young guys. Kyle, just get whatever bad is up your ass out of it already, because this attitude you gave the media today was unnecessary. It's their right to question you. And the fan base, it's time to start asking tougher questions too. Don't get mad when guys like us start really thinking about this. Me and Leo did a podcast early on in the season. We said if these slow starts continue, the Niners aren't going to win a lot of games. Guess what? The Niners have lost 5 games.
I did say that. Man. And the thing is, on our weekly Niner Nation podcast, I said that these slow starts. This was after the win against the Eagles.
Yep.
So they were 2-0 at the time. I said,
Don't criticize a win, Leo. Don't criticize a win.
yeah,
How
if they
dare
have
you?
these slow starts, they're going to lose to the Rams. They're going to lose to the Eagles. They're going to lose to the Seahawks. And the other contenders around the NFC. Well, guess what? They lost to the Seahawks. They lost to the Cardinals. Both of them slow starts. I guess slow starts for the Rams. I'm going to be pissed at myself for being 3 for 3 and batting 1,000 on that take, but Jesus Christ, let's figure it out, guys. I want this team. Like I said, I'm done of getting the DMs from my personal friends roasting me about the Niners being trash, sending my daughter to school every day to go get roasted about the Niners being trash. Let's fix it. Let's win some games. Let's play winning football. Let's get this locker room, John. Culture. Let's get the culture good, like if we're the Migos. All right, let's figure this thing out.
Before we get out of here, the Niners have 8 offensive touchdowns on the season in the first half. 8. And they have 3 in the first quarter. So there's your slow starts. There's the numbers. You can look it up. Pro Football Reference. Offensive splits by quarter. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Brian Hammond, you wish you could look like me, bro. You wish.
All the best.
You wish. Drippiest man you ever seen in your life.
That's actually all jawline. I've seen it in person, but
oh yeah.
But we'll just leave it at that.
Handsomest man on 49ers Twitter, hands down. You heard it first.
Yeah, he is Baker Mayfield without Odell Beckham. All right, guy. You're not that guy, pal. All right, guys. Appreciate all you guys. Shameless plug. Like, subscribe. You know, it helps out the algorithm, helps keeping guys like Brian Hammond away, whatever it is. Appreciate you guys. Talk with you soon.